Hey, it's Shabes. Hello. The timer was, whatever. It is 9 now, and we only got an hour now. I'm sorry I changed the timing of like when I when I go live every time. I'm just tweaking about like what the best time to do it, and like so I have enough time, and I talk about what I want to talk about, and then the episode comes out at about 10. Anyway, um, I was so caught up in doing stuff that some of the stuff might not be fully up to date or accurate or whatever. But what I decided to do this time is a little bit different, so that way it's not like I'm scrubbing through and figuring this out on stream or whatever. I've already discerned all of it, and now we're gonna kind of go over it. Basically, is the plan. Before I do that, though, let's go up to this old thing. So episode 5. We did see episode 5 adapt, or so it was 606 and 607, and that material. Let's just double check here the episodes. I have them right here. It covers 525 and about 526, I think. So then the episodes both end at. It actually goes a little bit into 527 if I'm not gonna. Yeah, it goes a fair distance into 527. Episode of the original episode 527. Okay, and I will say my guess for this episode 6, is going to be chapter 608 and 609. And yes, so another 2 chapters this episode. And the reason I'm guessing that, I've already done kind of the whole thing of the next episode preview, which is, where did I put it? Shoot. I had it up, and then I wasn't even thinking. Crap. Oh, here it is. Okay. So check it out. I think we did this at the end of last stream, and I like that as a kind of a nice way to cap the stream at the end, I think. So I think we'll continue to do that, to be honest. I'm just trying to like a loose speculation of how far they're going to go. But yeah, this is in the second, in chapter 610, all the Gear Second stuff and him swimming and stuff. This is in the the first part of the chapter, the A part, where they land in Kami's house. That's on this little part with Hody at the end of the first chapter, so that'll probably be where the A part ends. I figured out this starfish clip is actually what they show on screen as they're talking in the turtle. It's not shown in the manga, but it is in the first chapter where this happens. Yep, and all this is second chapter, the first chapter, and so on and so forth. With some extended, this is like a repeated thing, because this shot doesn't normally last as long. So what I did all day today, yeah, I basically prepped, I placed the next episode clips that we have onto the areas where they would be. And actually this one just so happens to land in an interesting spot. So check this out. On the left is the original, and on the right is remaster. You can see, I don't know if they've edited this just for the next episode preview, but like, are they gonna go through all 5 of that? These mermaid quintuplets take up so much time because of their gag of like completing each other's sentences with their own little thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they trim some of that of their dialogue. And I'll get to this all down here of what I mean. And I did compare this to One Piece already. So I've done all the work basically, and I'm just gonna present it to you. This one, so we'll go into the panels here. So just to recap with episode 5, this is all that they cut in the previous episode. It's not even this full page. It's just the bottom panels at down here. And I think it was mainly because the original, from what I can tell, kind of cuts in between. Actually, it does that here, actually, in the panel. It cuts between them and the the Dutchman. So the anime does kind of stretch that out, but this also all those are kind of taken out. This shot of Vanderdecken is in there, but just not this quote of the monster from the North Pole. And then this part of Frankie saying if it erupts, we're finished, to get out of here is in there, but Chopper again saying it's hot because he already said that was taken out, and that's it for that chapter. Everything else is in there. As for the second half of the episode and the second chapter, 607, this is part of like that big 2-page spread of the eruption. They just cut out this long reaction piece that's in the original anime, kind of an extended sequence. So it makes sense to cut that. Some of the little expository dialogue here, but then just they just show the volcano erupting, and it's heating the water. The moment with Sanji, making a whole moment and everything, and then Usopp coming in and kind of going like slapping him and saying "freak" in the anime. That's how it's shown. That's how this speech bubble's included. They cut that sequence out. And this one up here is part of the big 2-page spread where they first see Fishman Island. And it's just actually no, sorry. This is the one where it's part of the big 2-page spread. They just say it's surrounded by a giant bubble. Maybe there's air inside. Like no, we can see that. So they cut that particular dialogue out. And then this is one with all the sea beasts first show up. That you first see them in the page, the big panel. Just this little extra bit that Hammond says, I think. It's more Usopp talking here. It's kind of a redundant speech bubble, and he just goes jump down, whatever. And then they cut this part of Frankie specifically being the first one to apparently see the sea beasts. They just kind of show up in the log, but the rest of this is present. And then this very last panel, to show that the Kudaburst is ready to fire, kind of as a tease for the next chapter, and it's right before Luffy says, "No way, morons," about joining the Fishman or whatever. That part's cut out, but that's totally fine. Yeah, so the cuts were extremely minimal in these last two chapters. I think because it's so action-packed and very easy to condense, I think it will be a lot harder in this next episode, which I do think will cover 2 chapters, but it will be a lot more difficult, which I'll show you kind of. This is I think the first, hopefully the first like normal stream, quote unquote, where I think I've kind of figured everything out of what I want to do, what I want to show. So, the 2 episodes that we're focusing on primarily is 527 and 528. 528 ends with this statement of, I missed them. I was going to tell them about Jinbei's message, and that's how chapter. That's how chapter 609 ends over here. I forgot. We missed our chance to give him the message. So they're covering basic like 1 3/4 episodes, because the first 3.5 minutes are being spent on the end of chapter 607, like with it ends with the back. That's the end of the chapter, but it happens at like the 3-minute mark here in 527. So they have of the original, the length is 14 minutes plus plus 16 minutes, so 31 minutes or so to convince. So they have to kind of cut 10 minutes of footage, pretty much, more give or take. And what I've done is highlight, again, similar with like some stuff that seems like anime original, some stuff that's recap, but I've kind of streamlined. I haven't updated the start out here. I have yellow as anime original, that I like, that just kind of seemed like a in-between filler shot, that if you were looking directly at the manga, there was no equivalent panel, even like any little extra bit of dialogue too, like one extra line or something. all of that is highlighted in yellow. So it's a little more extreme of like, but then green is just full on anime original sequence that like this is never shown at all. It's this whole thing of like showing where Zoro is at this point, which I don't think ever happens in the manga. I don't think you ever see. And then the same thing with Nami and Robin and showing that Frankie kind of saved. That maybe this happens in a later chapter. I haven't scrolled that far down to really check, but it happens all the way up here at the beginning of this episode. There's also this shot as well, which I believe is the yellow means it is in the manga, but it's stuff that I think is like kind of stretched or whatever. However, red is a piece of dialogue that is in the manga that I am going to be making a guess that they cut in order to condense this, basically. See if like how do you make this 20 minutes with this amount of dialogue and the amount of reworking they have to do. I think they do have to. It's like as we've seen with the previous episodes, they do cut some content. So this is the red parts are my educated guess as to what they might cut in this episode. Fishman, I'm more like fish sticks. Yeah, I know what you mean. Hello, Chaotix. So that is this actually it's right here. This purple, all this right here is my guess at a Fishman Island log episode. And I want to see, so then when we watch the episode, I can kind of go back through and see how close I was. is the idea, is the game here, I think. And I think that'll be fun. We'll see how it goes. We've got plenty of time. But, yeah, so my cut right now, and this is not taking into any consideration of, like, sound, because they have the resources separated, so we know that they can make any cuts they want effectively. My cut is 17 minutes 21 seconds. If I added the ED and OP of a typical episode, I want to see how long that would be. So just a sec. This includes like the next episode preview potentially. Okay, so that would include that. And then the OP with the Toei and everything. All right. Sorry. Okay. Okay. Bringing those two together, that is a 21 minute 6 second episode. I think. I mean, let me look at the episodes here. Yeah, the episodes are 23:49, 23:49, 23:49, 23:49. So I'm missing 2 minutes. I'm actually cutting it shorter to 2 by like 2 minutes 40 seconds. So there is something that I cut that they can potentially include back. And then again, maybe they'll make different cuts that I don't expect. Like, oh, they kept this scene, but they cut this scene that I thought that they would keep. I think that will be the interesting game here. So let me go through that. And also, just while I'm doing that, kind of go through One Pace, which I've also laid out here. So you can see the it's hard to with there basically. This dark blue at the top is One Pace, and so you can see like they've clearly steered away from the green parts as well as a lot of the yellow, in terms of just like stuff that is anime original technically, and it's not like strictly manga. So any chance they get to cut it, they will. But you still see that the episode is there's not that many cuts, all things considered. I wish I can give you the contrast here. I was working on matching the footage of the previous episode to the original. I'm not quite done yet. You see there's a lot more cuts very, very, but still kind of filling out that whole area. Whereas you see like these large swaths here where there's absolutely no cuts. There's absolutely no difference between the original and One Piece for large swaths of it. And that again has to do with their limitations, mainly with sound. If they can find anything to cut, they will. If it's not jarring, basically. The most egregious, I have to find it. It was so shocking to me. Like, wow, you guys are doing a great job here of making it super fast for people to watch. Like, wow, what an impressive cut you made. All sarcasm, by the way, obviously. Oh gosh, no, it's in this okay, it's over here. This is so incredible. I have to find it. Sorry. Oh my god, it's here. Yeah, look at this. Okay, so Luffy's talking about at the beginning of this chapter, of the beginning of it, he's like, oh, hey Kami, there's somebody I want to meet Jinbei. And he's like, hey, there's someone I want to meet. And she's like, oh, who's that? And it makes a cut right here. It makes how long is this? A second. They take 1 second off. And what egregious thing that the anime included that they have to cut out? It's just him grinning and doing like, hee. Like, that's it. That's all they fucking cut. And then they go right to the... And so you just go like... Yeah? Like he can't like what's wrong with this? But the reason they can cut it is because the sound, if you can see... oh wait, I can do this. Yoink. There's like no sound. There's just ocean waves. There's just little ambient noise. There's very, very little that they need to cut. Like that they can cut this anything in here because it's quiet, so it won't be as a distracting cut musically, or a character talks over somebody else or whatever. Hello, Weird Proc, good to see you. I can't believe like they would think, oh wow, a great cut. Like they will do any, and yet there's other things that are way like more boring cut, like more boring shots that they have to keep in because of the sound thing. That are probably less valuable than just our king here displaying joy. Like, I would take this shot over many other shots that they probably do include here, because they're necessary, like glue or whatever. But because this is unnecessary, quote unquote unnecessary, right? I know I might be making a bigger deal of this than I need to, but it was just so shocking to me as I'm manually syncing this edit to see what they do with it and how they manage to squeeze as much time out of it as possible. Of course, they cut the entire this entire recap here. They just like freeze this frame of him right here, and then they cut this whole flashback of going back to why Jinbei means so much to him. And I'm expecting Fishman Island Log to cut this too, but maybe they'll actually kind of include a little bit of it, or maybe like some quick shots or whatever. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them to maybe do something more with this than completely cut it complete, especially when like they do include this flashback because it's in the manga, because Oda showed it, like, hey, remember when Jinbei said he'd be back in 2 years, like to come back to come visit him at Fishman Island in 2 years? Because it's shown in the manga, they'll include it here, even though it's expository. It's expository. But because it's shown in the manga, they'll include it. But like this, like one of the best scenes in the entire series, like I cry just like seeing it, just like even just seeing it in context, especially with like the music choice they're using here. I know you can't really hear it, but yeah. Lol, dumb. Put my Luffy smiling back in. Right. We need the Luffy smiling cut. Yeah, I don't know. It's very workmanlike and predictable. Here's the thing. I mean, I didn't record the whole day of me doing that, working on this. But the order of operations I did this in was I first kind of went through the original episode and really looked closely at the manga and was like, making the judgment call of, well, technically this shot isn't in there. Like, yes, they can't, One Piece can't cut this because it completes Sanji's sentence here. Like, it's kind of a staggered sentence. He like goes like, ore, koko ni suru, right? Like, so they can't cut that shot because it wouldn't finish the sentence. But they can, but like, whatever. It's not in, it's like very boring. Like they cut this little extra scene of her finishing the sentence, which is not in the manga, but because it's not in the manga, they'll just make this. Look how jarring this cut is. I have to tell you. Look at this. Look at the left corner here. It's just, I don't know. There's no. It's a really subtle thing, but like I like that they kind of pan over to Chopper and like he's about to talk. I don't know. I might be over. I could probably be over exaggerating. I don't know. But here, let me go over quickly all the shots that are red or yellow that I think that are going that I've removed out of my cut to try to go through them, and I'll try to make a get. Basically, yeah, the crying scene. So right. Anywho, so it starts. Yeah, he said he refused. This reaction to the three of them can probably be cut. Some reanimated bits here. This was really interesting. So the next episode preview shows this like pan up here, and you see Chopper in the back. He's not in the back when they do this initial pan up. Yes, you see? And it's only when he goes over to Luffy, or like hobbles over to him. So I think this is going to be a way for them to cut time by just having him already behind Luffy, and he says his line, and then Chopper can say his line, and it'll be really quick. You can even just cut that like half a second of him running over, and that's something they can do. I like that. I find that very interesting. So I think generally that I will be interested to see how they do this, but I think this could be tightened up a good deal. I don't really like how One Piece tightens it because it's really flat and static. Like they just have like they don't, I don't know, the pan up here, which the original anime does a lot, I think, to stretch certain panels and scenes out a lot, is like this slow pan up or whatever. But this one at least I think works because it's giving context. Because like the room that he's in, because that wasn't established before. He said he was going to that room, but then the slight pan I think makes sense here. But then when it just cuts to him, it's like so robotic to me. I think this is all technically in there, but it's extended out. There is Luffy's like, you want to fight? Interestingly, the original anime has Zoro and Sanji ready as well, but that's anime original. And I do think it's just going to go whoop, boo, launch because it's part of the manga, and then boom. I think this blue part will be included, but then this little more build up with Frankie could be tightened and cut. This reaction shot of this guy is not in the manga, and of course, so One Piece cuts that as well. This interesting One Piece kind of does include these three getting flattened, but there's technically not a shot of that in the manga, so I think Fishman Island log could be even more faithful and just go right to the boom. But again, they have like 2 extra minutes that that was my one cut. I didn't like try to go back and find certain things. I didn't want to be that I don't know about it. I don't know. Unless I was way off. I thought like, okay, I'm like 2 minutes off. That's fine. Anyway, this extra shot of Brook is original. I think that like them going straight up to the, whoa, what's with that ship? And then going like hitting the bubble, I think would work. So I think even though this scene is in the manga, this red part, this dialogue of Frankie and Sanji is in the manga, but I think it can be cut. Hi, Shabes. I'm at work. Hope you're doing it. Thank you, Otis. Good to see you. Hope work's going okay. Little extra shot of the coating getting deteriorated. For some reason they added this moment of Brooke pointing, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna hit another, we're gonna hit a second bubble." Like, yeah, no shit, dude. And it makes sense that Robin, pays attention to it or whatever. An extra little bit of, Frankie says to hold on to something, and everyone holds on to something. I think that's totally reasonable for the original anime to add. I don't think it's a sin, but One Piece finds a way to cut it. Like, oh, we can cut that. Oh, yay. And all that. Now, this is interesting. This is a very long sequence. I think Fishman Island Log can actually abbreviate this a lot. Maybe even remove all of the fade to blacks. Maybe. Which One Piece definitely couldn't do because it was a long... You see, like, all the music, and it's a very dramatic moment and everything. There's no way they'd be able to do that many cuts without it being noticeable. So there's a high chance that they can save a lot of time in this sequence. And I highlighted this yellow part because this part of Zora saying reach out or whatever, like my hand or whatever. That's not in the manga technically. But One Piece includes it, again, because it's a whole sequence that they can't touch. Shape's VA is being replaced. Frankie's VA is being replaced? Is that confirmed? Did they confirm that? Jeez Louise. Is stream about showing how One Piece is ass? No, although it's included. I include One Piece because I think it's a natural question because that's what a ton of fans know about. And this is like almost Toei's response to it in a way, which I think is very interesting. So it's included, but it's not the focus really. It's sort of seeing what Fishman Island Log specifically is doing. It's confirmed now. Wow. Ripperoonie. I mean, at least I'm the one. It's not a silver lining at all. I feel that sucks. It really sucks. But at least Egghead turned out to not be Frankie's arc after all. Like, I know when Egghead started, we were all really excited to get like really strong Frankie content. And he was great in the arc. Don't get me wrong. He pulled his weight. He was great. But man, that sucks. And and Yao, the voice actor, I'm in the middle. I'm still watching Double Zeta Gundam. I really like his work, and of course he's also Bon Clay in the anime as well. So yeah, that really sucks. Yeah. And I mean, what's funny is Jinbei's voice actor actually got changed very quickly, very early on. I think he was maybe in 1 or 2 episodes before he got changed. So most people don't even know. I don't. Yeah, it's like one scene in Impel Down where he has a different voice actor. It's like his first appearance. So technically this has happened to a Straw Hat already. I'm still waiting for the dub to continue. Oh, did it freeze? That's weird. So they caught up and then they just kind of, so that's weird. Didn't Gold Rogers original? Yeah, and Mihawk, and like tons of other characters. I mean, geez, tons. But it's especially rough for a Straw Hat. That's God. That really sucks. I'm really curious who they are able to get instead. Big commitment. And the thing is too, it would be very interesting if it was a voice actor that has voiced another One Piece character before. I don't know if any of the replaced ones, any of the voice actors that have replaced a character were originally a previous character. I know obviously they've reused voice actors a number of times. Again, like with Yao. Yao was originally the hypnotist guy in Syrup Village. He was the hypnotist. And I forget his name. He joined the Navy. And then again he was Mr. 2, Bon Clay. So he's he's been characters before, and that's happened a couple of times. But that would be really interesting, I think, to see if the person that replaces Frankie ends up being someone that has voiced a One Piece character before. And I have no idea who that could be. The thing is, that's the thing with, not that it's specifically with a Straw Hat, but I guess like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who they get. Django, yeah, sorry. The dub stopped for like over a month. Wow, weird. It probably would be due to how many people have been in this. Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is. Contacts and stuff like that, of course. Oh man, I have no idea who they'd pick. But that's what I mean. Like, as much as I like the idea of Fishman log, in terms of the benefits, this is the one con. Is just that it doesn't. I mean, this would have happened either way because the manga's still going. It just makes it more likely because it just means that the anime is more prolonged, I guess. And the longer it goes on, the more likely this happens. I don't like that it happened to Frankie, but I'm disappointed that it happened with Frankie, but and I hope that Yao does well and continues to live a good life. At least he didn't die. You know what I mean? If he's stepping down, I'm disappointed, but I'm happier that it's retired than unfortunately passed away, I guess. It still really sucks, but yeah. There's little upsides, but yeah. I would love to see Django appear again. I mean, I don't want to spoil a weird proc, but he technically does. Not in a significant way. Not in like a he matters way. But he does get another appearance later. Later than where you're probably at with the dub. In like a very recent episode. But his voice actor for Django had already been replaced for that episode. That does open the idea that maybe whoever replaced Django in that episode is the one that replaces Frankie. That could be interesting. And oh my god, I think you know who it was? I believe the guy who replaced Django was, I forgot his name. I don't know why I forgot his name, but he I literally have talked about him in my Naruto video because he's Obito. And he's also Bellamy in One Piece. And he's I think he's also Vanderdecken. I could be wrong about that. But I forgot his fucking name. But yeah, fucking, oh my god, yeah. He also plays Onizuka. He plays Aoki. Honestly, I would be really happy. I would actually really love that. Yeah, now I really want that really badly. Oh no, now I really want that because I have to check actually. Can I get yeah. Let me fucking first of all find Django because I wonder if Mal updated it. There's multiple characters named Django apparently in anime. No, characters. Here he is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Wataru Takagi. Wataru Takagi recently played Django in a very recent episode. I love your Obito section. Thank you so much. Yeah. Oh my fucking god. And you know what's so funny too? He was Zoro in the One Piece OVA from the pilot from Production IG. He played Zoro actually. The dub is only 11 episodes. Okay, fair. But yeah, he's played Aoki in Ippo, Okuyasu in Part 4, JoJo Part 4, Obito, he's a very apparently a very wait, what? It's okay, wait a minute. Okay, so like he's a I just saw him. I'm looking at his Mal, and he plays a character in Detective Conan, and he's in like most of the movies. Like he's in tons of the movies, and he's like a main character in movie 25, and the character's name is Wataru Harry Wilder Takagi. Like the character is named after him. Created for the anime, but later appearing in the manga. He was originally an unnamed police detective. I'm just reading the Mal bio. But during one recording session, the Chafurin, Inspector Megure, read the line, "You, what's your name?" to the character. And Takagi ad-libbed the response, "It's Takagi, sir." And he's been referred to as Wataru Takagi, like the main character. Not the main character. Like, that's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. I genuinely don't know if that's happened before. That's so crazy. That's so fucking crazy. He's also Genta in Detective Conan. Wow. That's so funny. But yeah, oh my god. No, he's easily one of my favorite voice actors, and yeah, he was Vanderdecken. He was in fact Vanderdecken in One Piece. I'm just going by like character popularity. But yeah, he was Bellamy, and yeah, I really love him. So, geez Louise, actually, if that means he's Frankie, that's really good. That's I love Yao. Please don't get me wrong, but I would lose it. I would actually lose it. Watcher, I'll put it in chat. Geez, I have to tweet about. I want to tweet about that now. At first, I want to see the announcement, which is so. It's probably really sad for Oda too. I can't have. Oh my god, that must be devastating for Oda, because straight up, I could be wrong about this. I thought I heard that Oda loved Kazuki Yao. He loved Kazuki Yao so much as Mr. 2 and as Django that like I don't know if he created Frankie for Yao, or when he was creating Frankie he was like, I want Yao to play this character. It was something about it where like I think he had a major connection with him. I know that recently in the not like recently today, like these days, I mean in like at the time of Fishman, and I think mostly like Summit War, they included interviews with all the Straw Hat voice actors. So maybe there's something about Yao in there. I'm not sure. Brooks VA is like that, right? Oh, really? I don't know. I don't know much about Brooks VA, to be honest with you. It's just Cho. Okay. Okay. He totally is. I mean, oh my god. So like I don't know his VA at all. I'm just looking at his Mal. Fucking he plays the principal in Great Teacher Onizuka. He's the guy that goes, "Watashi no Kuresta!" Like, of course. Oh my god, I didn't even know. That's so good. He's a main character in Kengan Ashura. I've not seen any of that. He seems to be a fairly prominent character in Inuyasha, Jaken. I think he's the principal in Hidamari Sketch. That's funny and that fits. Interesting. He's Bonolanov. the mummy boxer guy in the Phantom Troop of Hunter x Hunter. Oh wow, he's Otsuki in Tonegawa in Kaiji. He's like the villain. I think he's like the main villain in the first arc, the Chinchuriki, the dice game. The main bad guy in that. He voices that character. Wow. He seems to be a fairly prominent character in Natsume Yujin. I'm just sorry if this is. I'm sorry if this is what the stream has turned into. I'm just so curious. In the original Dragon Ball, when Krillin dies, Goku specifically says Yajirobe sounds like Krillin. Oh, wow. So that was basically said in the manga so Luffy's VA could stay in their job. What? Oh, when Krillin dies, Goku specifically says Yajirobe sounds like Krillin. In the original... Oh, my God. Oh. Oh. Oh, my God. That's wild. That's wild. That is crazy. I get it. That's incredible. But yeah, Cho's played a lot of miscellaneous characters that I've heard. I've heard a lot of these characters I actually recognize. Interesting. He was several anime original characters in One Piece before Brook. I think Barbarossa was anime original. Yeah, I think so. Gosh, yeah, he's way more prominent than I realized. That's fantastic. But let me see, yeah, other characters he played in One Piece, because... Okay. So, like, before Brook, he was, some small stuff, but, some anime original characters. He was Mauji. Mauji? It was the... Oh, it's the Dressrosa extra character. Sphinx and Spiel. Okay. I don't know it. Don't recognize him. It's not as like, Mr. 2 or something. Alright, wow. I'm pretty sure Cho wrote the Nekomamashi song for his cat. Or for a skit or something that Toei put in. Oh, wow. Wow, that's incredible. Man. What a time to be streaming when that news happened. I bet it's on Discord. I bet they shared it on the only Discord, like, yeah, that's what they're talking about right now. Man. That's so rough. But if it means Watcher Takagi takes his place, that's honestly phenomenal. As much as I love Yao. Like, I'll take it. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, I would have made the character. Okay. So this little extra scene after they've drowned and they're talking like, hey, we gotta tell our boss or whatever. And this is how like slavish they are. One Piece in the corner here. This is how slavish they are to the fucking manga. The manga, I'll take this timeline off for a second. Let me show you. Where is it? You see in the right here, this whole page is this scene after they drown. They're like, they probably got a very cool. We're gonna tell the boss, and it cuts over to Noah, and I think this is the first time you see Noah in the manga. And so in the anime they don't cut to this, but you see in what like they fade it in. But like you could see how like the hand syncs up like this. They literally don't change anything in the clip. They just took the shot of Noah that happens at the end of the episode and put it over here because it's like, oh, they're supposed to show Noah. That's what Oda wanted. Like, there's no room, like inexcusable room for, in their mind, I'm saying it's inexcusable for them, for the anime to do anything different that they can help. Like, oh, this is something we can do. Like, this won't affect the sound. Let me do this. Like, that's how fucking slavish they are. to this fucking manga. And like they don't realize, to me, and this is something I'm also realizing with this project with Fishman Island Log, Oda has the same limitation. The episode has to be 20 minutes, but the chapter has to be a minimum number of pages. I think there is a range. There is sort of like a certain amount. It's not like a strict this many pages or something, but it is sort of like you just have to consider there's the title page, and leading into whatever the previous manga is, or an ad or something. But he'll put it over here, and then you can flip the page, and he displays this as a 2-page spread, 2-page spread, 2-page spread. He has to really consider this as he's drawing it. That's the first stipulation, right? And when he gets a cover spread, he can do 2 pages, but then he has to add this extra page over here and consider that, like the formatting is something he needs to plan, right? And a page turn, right? So it's like, oh, when I have the thing, what do I do when I do a page turn? Boom, it's these characters. What do I do at the end of this? Boom, it's, like he has to pace it in a very deliberate way. And so when you have the full thing, and here's the event that happens, that's kind of it. What do you fit in, this could be one panel at the bottom here. After this one, it could be one huge panel, but he wants to show all this other stuff. But sometimes there might be something that like, oh, I have to add this for some glue or whatever, for the scene to make sense. But yeah, like, he has, some of these panels aren't wholly necessary for the story, especially when you transfer it to animation, where there might be a shot in the original that fits that suits that. And so it I don't want to call it filler because it's in the manga. It's not filler, but at the same time, it kind of, look at this, like the like this right here. They get the Jetto Pistolu. Does he need these 2 reaction shots? How necessary are we talking? But it was probably a case where he just made this a square panel because composition-wise, this is what he wanted to do with it. He has all this in Pistolu. But, like, does he want to make a longer rectangular panel, or does he want to make it square? I think this looks a lot better. So then, what do you put at the bottom here? Well, is it the next thing you put in here? Them collapsing in the brow? I think keeping these panels of this together makes more sense. This is stuff that he has to plan out, Call it padding. That's even worse. It's supposed to fill out the landscape that he is allowed. If this was a web series, if this was like a novel, Shotsuki no Ro or something that doesn't have any boundaries, an independent manga, then that'd be one thing, and he can make it however many pages he wants. He has more flexibility and freedom that way. But when it's a weekly magazine, when there's a specific number of pages he has to do, and it's his turn to do the color spread next issue or whatever, like, this is all planned out in the medium of the magazine, of being able to release it and publish it as a magazine so that they get money and he gets money in there, so it allows the manga to happen. The medium, it's tough because when I say medium, you're like medium of comics, but no, it's more like the medium of the magazine, like being able to be published week to week or month to month in a magazine, so it makes these, it's different. There's nuances. Sorry, I catch up on chat. He doesn't have to add the blank page every time, but yeah. Sorry for not waiting to say it. Yeah. But yeah. So, like, it's interesting to see Fishman Island Log make these kinds of choices. I mean, there's things that I think potentially, so this is like, I'm making guesses here. I think they can fade to black here, and then he opens his eyes and it's the thing. And, like, that would flow perfectly well. Because, they leave these guys in the dust. Do you really need to be like, oh, now we go to our boss or whatever? like, do you really need that? Because they go to their boss at the end of the A part, like over here. The next time you see them is the lair and everything. Like, whoa, what's this? Oh, it's those guys. And it's like, oh, you know. So I this is just me making guesses basically. The red and yellow parts. I'm gonna shotgun it really quick because now we have like 9 minutes. Thanks for the VA talk. I seriously though, I liked that I got my reaction and my my take on recording. It's nice. It's a tough job. I wonder what level of being a zombie Oda is right now. It's tough, Oscar, because I think he loves it, but that's just the challenge. You know, that is the challenge. But I'm actually just looking at this. Friggin' the page that I'm on right now for the manga. You see like the SBS logo here? He does this. Like, I know the first couple of volumes he just did one illustration and then repeats that a bunch. But in the later volumes, he does like a different SBS a bunch of different times. So for this one, he's like, oh, I can do Zoro and Sinnes, and then make pose. Like, he has the challenge of like how to make the acronym SBS. That's the challenge he pits to himself, and I think he likes that challenge. Just like any of us with like a creative endeavor, the boundaries, you know, the canvas that you're putting this on is an intended part of it. You know, when a painter decides to they're painting on a canvas that's like really skinny and vertical, that's very intentional, right? And maybe in the middle of doing that, they're like, shit, I wish it was wider, but that's the challenge, right? With how rough the art is, the physical element is definitely there. Even these Fishman pages art in 9 day. Oh yeah, you're one of those people that are like, his art's not what it used to be. No. I get it. Some of it is really beautiful. A lot of it's very beautiful in the early parts, but I really like the style. I really like the graveliness of the recent stuff. It feels like there's a really definite texture that just like, I don't know, it looks gorgeous to me. Honestly, I really like it. I probably can't stay for long. It's good to see you though, Golworm. Thank you for coming. Thank you for stopping by. Objectively. Yeah. So yeah, a little like original stuff, like a reaction with like once he, but also like this, like there's two. Oh, here's another thing. Edit that One Piece did. Look at this. They just like, because they're in the manga, there isn't a shot between this first time you see them and then there's Luffy kind of like opens up wakes up a little bit, and there's another one. In the manga, it's just two panels back to back, so that's what One Piece does. You see this? It's just like this. But so then One Piece just does fucking this. They just look at the corner. They just they just fucking fade it in. Look at that. That's crazy. Oh god. Fun edits. Yay. Desperate. But I honestly think you don't need the second panel. Look at that. Like, in this instance, this is actually exactly what I'm fucking talking about. This is a perfect example. Here's the page, right? Oh, you know, it's a nice rectangular panel of the setting that they're in. Here's a little skinny part, and then he wants to structure it like this. So he has a very wide skin, kind of a wider middle part here. Does it look better compositionally to make this one fucking panel of like one shot, or does he do it twice? And I think it makes sense because if you repeat this joke twice, you get a better sense that this is like their pattern. They like question, answer, a repeat, a negative. I think you blank. So with Tanani, right? Like the speech pattern that they have, is doing it twice is to show it's a speech pattern. But like, is it really necessary? Is it really that necessary to do both of these, right? So there's creative choices in doing this, and I think they're good. But does that mean you have to have them in the anime too? When this is not this vertical and whatever? I honestly think you can go this And then this. Easily. And then there's obviously the reaction of all three of them. He's awake. You can literally just go, he's awake. Like, you can just do that, right? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. The sort of trimming that I'm expecting here. He's obviously amazing more about averages. I hear you. I didn't know people say that about his art. Yeah, you know. Everyone will find something to say about it. Dragged out. This is something I think they can cut because he's like, wait a minute, if they're here, that means we're on Fishman Island. Yeah, we're all unconscious. See, we woke up here when we were unconscious. Like, yeah, no shit. You can literally just go like, Kim-Chuan, and she's like, I don't know. Or even just do like this, and then like, here's your hat. Actually, that would make more sense. Look at this. Like, he shows up, like, he's on the bed with them. I guess it's fine. They'll probably show up anyway. I don't know. Whatever. Little bit here. Yeah, there's like a beat that they do. Because she says, oh, here's some, I want to warm you up. Here's some cold soup. And then they pause. And they're like, cold soup? Uh-huh. Ah, my God, I'm such an idiot. Ah! I fucking love Kami so much. Ah! For some reason, I think. So One Piece does, I don't know if again it's a sound problem. One Piece keeps this shot in. I made a mistake or whatever. Instead of this shot, I think they could do, I made a mistake, or I don't know. Maybe they have to cut this because her thing isn't moving. But also, her saying I made a mistake is redundant. It's in the manga, but it's redundant, right? So maybe you could just go like, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, more stuff like, hey, let me have some of that, or whatever. And then like, oh, give me the clothes, or whatever. I have to show you this. This is like, I have to show you this. This will be hard because I don't have the audio intentionally included here. But let me see if I can audio output capture. There's ocean sounds and then audio capture. Okay. Just, I hope you can hear this.
Oh, thank you.
This is not, but One Piece includes it for some reason. This is odd. I think, you see, they're militant and like anal, but not completely, not all the way. So it frustrates me. It's very clearly one person's, you know, incomplete vision and their attempt at this sort of a thing. It's not like a perfect, you know, it's not like, oh, this is exactly. Yeah, they did their best, really, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with doing your best. But like the little bit of Sanji just going,
thank you,
thank you,
thank you.
I love it so much. But then like, yeah, you know, you don't really need all of them being like, wow, my clothes, thanks. It's like, like even just this part, like, oh, you know, them bringing it over, like, I don't know. There's ways that we can trim this, you know what I mean? There's ways we can reduce this, and it'll be very interesting. I do expect a lot of cuts in this episode, TBH. Well, it's 10 p.m. now, and I don't expect Crunchyroll to be punctual, but sometimes they surprise me. I missed that message. Oh, yes it is. They are punctual. Okay, let's watch it. I mean, I really let me be like, sorry. Let me be quick with these. You know, more like extended thing. This part of the mermaid, this is in the manga of like, sorry, I should have the manga with me. I gotta do it like this so you can actually see it. Yeah, see this panel on the left here? He's like, a mermaid, and you know, he imagines a coffee thing, so of course the anime includes it. This is a very funny bit that One Piece kind of like trims for the sake of time. I will also include this audio here. This is funny. Like a funny comedic pause. That was very good. I liked that. But you see, One Piece just does this. Like, look at the bottom left. They just cut it because they can, because it's a gap. There's no, because they can, just because they can. So like they will cut this joke out that takes a fucking second. Like, congratulations, you cut 2 seconds. You cut 2 seconds out of the fucking episode. Like, wow, guys, look, it's shorter. Like, if you do, yeah, of course you're gonna like, look at the results. Like, and not to mention, like, I'm positive that they include all the OPs and all the recap in this tally that they advertise as like, look how much content we cut. It's so much faster. Whereas you look at the actual grand scheme of things, look how little gaps there are. There really isn't that many gaps compared to just this stretch of Fishman, like right here. It's very interesting. I don't know. So anyway. Yeah, like I said, it's just cutaway, but that's not what it shows in the manga, but that's fine. A lot of talk about them being poor. I think that can be cut. I think, maybe, we'll see. We'll see how they're able to adapt. This is very interesting. We'll see in a second because it's out. Sorry. Even just this part here, they really extend this out because it's in the manga. Check this out. I missed it. Sorry. Here it is. I can't make it any bigger, really. You see the second page over here? It's like, you turn the page, big full page of the mermaids and stuff. What they do, and One Piece largely includes this because, again, it has the speech bubbles, and that's in the manga, so they have to include it. This is their logic. It's very predictable. They have this shot and her talk, and then react to him. I don't know why they kept I think they kept this because it would interrupt the music too much. But this is something they can technically cut. Oh, and then it's this shot. Oh, and then it's this shot. But you can probably do that, or you can even just boom. You don't even need any of those dialogue bubbles, really. All they say is, "How are your pirate friends? They nearly drowned, didn't they? You people didn't come in through the entrance? Hello, you don't look so scary. They came here legally. That's so wild. I just love pirates." That's all they say. I do think you could probably get away with him going just like, "Ooh, I heard a lady." Woo, just that easily. And then even just because you turn the page in the manga, you just see him go, ah. Whereas in the anime, they really build it up with the music and everything. And then he runs. And then he's like, "I want to live." He die. I also this is in the manga that in the corner here, Luffy's like, "You're crying more than when you left Baratier." And that's such a good joke, but it could be cut. You could just go like that, and then "I found it, my all blue." You could just do that, but let's see if they do. There's certain and again, like, I don't know what the anime was thinking here, but the original, well, I kind of get what they're thinking because based on what they decided to put in here, and they're like, oh, this half of this kind of third of a page almost, all of this, all this right here, these 3 bits, they put in a later episode. I don't know which episode. I don't know how they place it elsewhere, but One Piece, trying to be as panel for panel faithful as possible, they include this scene instead. They do include this whole bit, but then also there's that with One Piece as well with the Gojin. Yeah, it's all like one pace as well. I'll just disable that. Yeah, they have like the whole thing here, and then they just like do like a freeze frame here, and then fade to black with, with Premiere or whatever. Easy, simple editing. I noticed I tried to belittle them by saying Premiere or whatever. I didn't. It hasn't been that long since I watched Fishman Island, but I completely forgot about these characters. Yeah. Nice pause. Yes. We cut the jokes because we hate fun. Someone piece. No, yeah. Well, they don't. That's the thing. Like, there's things that they can't cut because of the sound, and they have no choice. So they have to include mid. But even though it's a better clip and funnier, because it's quiet or there's something about it that it won't affect the sound too much, if we did cut it, we will. And it's technically not in the manga. We'll do it, like, without a second thought of the quality of like any enjoyment whatsoever. All the while completely ignoring the genuine limitation. It's like, let me rewrite this chapter of One Piece, but I can make it however many panels I want. I can make it however many pages I want per chapter. I can make it like 1 page or 2 pages shorter, or 3, 4, 5 pages longer. Because it's not being published in a magazine. Like, that's what they're doing. It's really annoying and completely ignoring the hard work that this takes, and the vehicle that we're lucky to get this stuff with. The fact that these stories are possible is because of Shonen Jump magazine. It's because of Weekly Shonen Jump. I shouldn't call it Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. It's called Weekly Shonen Jump. Anyway. Sanji's so funny in this arc. Oh, he's great. I love the part where a woman screams in terror and whips around like, a lady. Yeah. Goofy reaction dialogue. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Anyway. So that's where that episode ends. I think there's a lot of extra reaction shots of, little bits of Hody with the little reaction shots here and there. You can really just do like that maybe, or just this shot maybe. I don't know. So, and then the next episode, there's all this bit, which I believe is technically in the anime, but again, it's kind of like glue, because they're just, after they meet with Hody, they're gonna go back up and talk to Luffy or whatever. This is all anime original to my knowledge. I mean, One Piece cut it from this area, but maybe they show it, maybe it's later. But like, Nami's like doing that with their bra, and then she's like, "Oh, where am I? Oh, what's that? Oh, it's Frankie Super." And he's got Robin, and he's like, "Robin, how are you? Oh my God, everyone's fine. Mina daijoubu ka?" Yeah, whatever. That seems to be all original. This little bit, I think, could be cut of like, "Man, you guys are lucky you get to swim." And she's like, "If you're wearing a bubble, you couldn't swim." And he's like, "Oh, really?" It doesn't lead to anything in the conversation. If you just like, "Oh, I wish you guys could swim," is a response to Sanji, having so much fun. And then Chopper kind of continues the conversation about Sanji. Like, I don't know why. I mean, maybe they can keep this. I just thought maybe this is a cuttable area. This is anime original, so they cut it. Stupid fucking Jinbei reaction. I talked about this earlier on stream, but like, One Piece, because it's quiet, they just cut this little bit of him like smiling. Like, neat. Like, actually, I have it unmuted now, so I can.
Yeah. Jinbei da.
Instead, it's just like,
yeah, Jinbei da.
which is fine, I guess. But like, I don't know. It's so transparent of just like what they're trying to do here, and it's desperate in my opinion. I gotta go have fun. Thank you so much, Glowworm. Reference to him fighting in the bubble. Yeah, but he did that at the beginning of the arc. He already did that fighting the Kraken. Like, I already know he can do that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that was already established, so I don't think they actually need her to say that. And more flashback. Little quick anime thing, which I think is just, just for variety's sake of like we haven't cut to Sanji in a little bit. But I think it could be cut. This little line of like, yeah, a lot changed since the war. I was going through it being like, okay, little bits of dialogue that are off screen and are a little like our flavor and you know, good and important. I'm not saying any of this dialogue that's in the manga isn't important, but it's like if the challenge in front of us is we're trying to fit 2 chapters into these 2 chapters. It's not just any 2, these 2 in one episode, get to from this point to this point. What do we have to do? What is necessary? What can we, you know, it's making those artistic choices, and that's what makes studying log really interesting. Little bits, this little extra bits of like, hey, we should hide, and they're like, oh, okay, this is how you hide. A little more shots of the ship before going to this shot. This I think they can cut because it's just them being like, oh, you know, they don't usually show up over here, like whatever. I honestly think you can kind of like boom, you know, and just show them. I think that could be faster. This is like an extra anime original thing where, you know, his face gets buried in and he's like, is this marshmallow? No, not quite. Oh, it's nice though. Oh, what is this? Oh, what? Oh, ah! And like, dude literally screams for fucking 6 seconds. This lasts for 6 seconds of continuous screaming and then cuts away. It's so funny. A little extra shot of these guys, which honestly, these guys in the like next the 2 weirdos next to like kind of the actual important character, you know, like her brother, these other 2 weirdos in the side, it hits so much better on a rewatch knowing what the reason they do this and the reason they're like this because of their mother is freaking wild. And rewatch, actually, it hits really hard, I think. Anyway, random shot. I think you can kind of cut that. A little extra stuff. This part where they're leaving, and then he's like, the bodyguards must have been wrong. Like, do you need that? I don't know. Like, they're already leaving and stuff, and then you can kind of just... They're already leaving... and then just go right here. You know, I think they can do that. And then, you know, the next episode preview does show all 3 shots of him getting closer and closer. But it's even longer in the anime. Like, he takes so long to explode, dude. She's like, boof, boof. And then everyone reacts. And then it's the thing. It's like, oh, boy. It's just a very... I think you could probably do boom, 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 and maybe even just go right to here, but maybe they'll include this part. Yeah, like they might just do that. I actually it's dumb, but for some reason this image goes hard. I don't know why, but I think it's great. I like the shot a lot. Are you comparing the new episode now? Not yet. The new, we're gonna watch the new episode together after I'm finished going through my predictions of what they'll do and what they'll cut. We'll go to the viewing party session on stream and watch it together. It's like a reaction thing. More reactions that are in the manga, but I think they can cut. I'm turning around. The soldiers, and you know, because it's the end of the A parts, they extended it a little bit. This is completely anime original. Like I don't know what they're doing here. At the end of the eye catch, it's like an extended sequence of Zoro being lost, and he encounters the same guards. Like, are you Zoro? And like, bad idea. And that's it. And then it's more guards, and they're back to this. It's like, okay, they didn't even resolve any. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing there. This part, I think, it's a little bit with Chopper here. I think this is a good demonstration of what I'm talking about, of like trying to really think critically of what could they potentially cut. So he goes So they're talking. This part here, he's like, so hold on. When the shot changes, you could probably go from here to here, or maybe even reanimate a little bit to go to like Chotomate Kure or whatever. But the part he's like, I'm sorry we entered your country illegally, but don't arrest us yet. But you could be like, just be even more panicked and just be like, Chotomate Kure, can somebody please donate some blood? And he goes through that whole spiel. So his whole explanation of like, does anyone have it? He's this particular blood type. I've run out of it. Our friend is dying. Giving all the proper context. But the apology could potentially be cut. That's just a guess, I'm like, if there's any potential here, and then you kind of work it back in. We're like, oh, we happen to have time. Let's work this dialogue back in. This little extra reaction of Kami is original. So, but One Piece kept it. Sorry, give mute again. Tanmuse, and yeah, there's a whole explanation. This I feel could be cut potentially. It's just a little bit of him being like, "Oh, it's those guys." Like, yeah, we know. And then it's those guys. It's like, oh, it's those guys. Although maybe they'll keep this one of him because it establishes them actually getting off the boat. Probably. And then there's the whole very little you can cut here because it's very plot relevant of like why they can't donate blood and the Fisher Tiger stuff. Funny enough, again, One Piece just kind of keeps this reaction of Luffy, but then they cut the part where he says Fisher Tiger. Like he says like fish, it's because of Fisher Tiger. They cut him saying Fisher Tiger because he doesn't repeat that in the manga. So they're like, oh, we can cut that, I guess. Boo. Yep. They cut this little extra bit of him recoiling a bit, even though it's pretty cool animation there. But they can, just because they can. Yep. A bunch of reactions. For some reason, where is it? For some reason they cut all of this. The actual execution of like Luffy grabbing them and pulling up there. They just cut right to this, but I highlight these in purple actually. Because what they did was they did that talking, and then this panel, because that's what the manga does. Like, they're so in tune with the manga. Like, if they can get away with it, they will be as strictly accurate as possible, where Kami first talks, and then the guy's like, wait, the ship belongs to us. Oh, sorry. And then the context of, like, pulling them onto the ship or whatever. Like, that's how strict they are with this. And it makes it just really pandering and not inspired, really. It's very mechanical, I think. Extra little bits of Sanji muttering. But I think this little bit of Chopper saying, like, you guys shut up. Sanji, cut it out. Stop thinking. You could die. Like, that's repeating information. I think you can cut this part. You can kind of just go, like, look how stubby he is. Whatever. More reactions to the mermaids of, like, hey, why did you say anything? I didn't highlight this. I think this could be cut as well. It's just a flaccid shot of them. But they all kind of say similar things of like why they protected them. Or do I hope he's all right? You could probably keep one of them, and then cut back to them like, oh, I get it. All right, And then more mermaid reaction, and then ending ideally on we didn't give them a mess. And this is again, look at it, another instance of how stubborn these guys are with their editing. The last page of this chapter ends on his shot. We missed our chance to give him Jinbei's message. Look what they do in the bottom left compared to what they do in the original. I think it's cool that they actually, who would really care about that? Who said he wanted to see Jinbei? Oh, like showing Luffy just makes sense to me. But because the manga did this, the way they did this was just like taking this like keeping the zoom in, like making it keep zooming, but then repeat the animation of his lip flaps. It's like I bet you're so fucking proud of that. And they don't. It doesn't. It's the same length. Look at this. They didn't cut anything. They just changed it because they're trying to make it more manga accurate. Like, is it really that more impactful? When like he says we missed our chance, they actually do. We missed our chance, and then they cut it for Jinbei's message. Boom. Like that makes more sense. Like that's just more impactful. It's oh god. Are you able to stream the new episode? Legality of these streams? Well, load it. It's not like I have. It's not like I've partnered with Toei or anything, but you'll see. I've been able to get away with it so far. How many people I know watched OP through One Piece? God, there's really no rush whatsoever to catch up. The original Niga Pog. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about it. So let's go to the view party. This is what I mean. This is what we're doing. Where is it? Ooh. All right. You can barely see, but that's why I have the timer, the speedrunner looking timer here. And let me get to the ep6 here. This is where, oh sorry, this is where the chapter's going to start, right over here. So we're going to go along with the manga and, read kind of alongside it. As you can not really see, you can barely make anything out, but you can watch along with me if you'd like. Anybody, I'll give you a minute to get that ready, but then we'll get going. We're getting yeah. Got my Gatorade. Gotta wait a little bit. Anyone says that they're ready. Oh. So, I don't really have I won't be able to have my cut right next to me. Let me see if I can try to make that happen. It won't be on screen though, but I'm going to kind of have it on the side monitor here to just to look. But I'll also try to be scrolling along the manga as well. It's a lot. It's a lot I'll be trying to do at once. All right, looks like we're probably all ready. In that case, we'll go on go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Let's put the chat right here. Oh, wait. Okay, good. I don't have the audio going. Oh my gosh. Oh, well, you can barely see it. Yeah. That's why I'm like, you can watch along with me, because you're not going to really see it on stream. You want to pull it up or whatever. Yeah, the OP is incredible. I'm so happy I'm overjoyed they made one. Because it's the right length it should be. It's about fucking Fishman, and they kept the OP, but they changed it to make it fresh. So like they had the Straw Hats sing it, and it makes sense because the Straw Hats covering what's the name of this particular OP artist who did We Are, and they covered We Are, and now they're covering We Go. It just makes fucking sense, dude. They're recapping it back, yeah. Makes sense. Oh. Oh, cool. Yeah, they're getting the recap, and that's a good idea. Yep. Oh, they cut Chopper's line. Of course. Wow. Yes. Yadoka. And then boom. Do it, Frankie. Nice. Wow, that was great. Oh yeah, they do keep yeah, both shots. Okay. They're going to cut the Oh, they kept Brooke. A little bit. A little bit. They don't give him his line. They just show him. Oh, they do keep Whoa, that's quick. Whoa. Wow. These shots are fast. Which makes sense because it's a really urgent situation. They actually kept them bracing. That's great. Whoa. Okay, let's see how they Oh yeah, they cut all the fade to blacks exactly. They did cut Zoro's line. Wow. That's tight. Hell yeah. All right, let's see what they Oh, they do keep this shot. They do this they keep this page, these panels. Wow, they do keep they actually add the Noah shot back in, but that was actually a cut instead of a fade. That's interesting. And see, I'm okay with Log doing that because it's their shit. Oh. Oh, wow. I think they tightened the dialogue. There's less pauses. Nice. Yeah, it's very brisk. There's a lot of padding in this area. This would be the halfway point of the episode, by the way. This part right here. But that was 4 minutes here. It's great. That was a different shot in the original when she said that line. It was more of a wide shot. They did keep the, we're on Fishman. Here's your hat. Yep, Bones and eye are chilled to the bone. Yep. They've already over half the runtime. Yeah. Snappy. Ah, that's a great reaction. Yeah. Wow, they cut all of that. They cut both shots. I thought they were going to keep one, but they cut both. But they did keep all of this part. That makes sense. That's a good cut. There was a shot of their clothes first before they showed the bundle. But then they overlaid the dialogue a bit so that all of it's kept, but it doesn't slow it down. They kept the thank you! The thank you is in there! I can't rewind, but it's in there! We won! We won! I think that was faster. I think they recalibrated the sound to tighten it. That's crazy. Ooh. The tightening of the tie was how One Piece cut it, like the precise, because there's multiple shots in that sequence. Oh, wow. Yeah, they do keep the shot, but they don't zoom in first. Oh, let's see the pause. Oh. I think that's pretty much how One Piece did it as well. All right, they kept all these shots. I thought they could probably cut a lot of things here too, but they abbreviated that initial shot that initial scene so much that they let the rest of this breathe. Yeah, they kept the oyster your pour. Okay. They kept the way more of this conversation than I did. Way more. They did keep a small line that Chopper said. They did cut that, which makes sense. It's not in the manga. Great shot. How do they adapt this? Oh, I think they added something there because the shot isn't usually. It's not that long. I don't think. That was great because that part was a little sluggish in the original, but there was no real good way to. Oh no, that's in there. Interesting. Yeah. Mina. Okay, yeah. How do they do this? Oh! They did cut all that dialogue. Oh, no, they didn't. Wow. Oh my god, and overlaying it with his reaction is so good. Wow, this is really good. They kept all of it, but it's so much snappier. Wow, that's great. Yeah, and they did it. They just did the thing. Oh my god. And they kept the Baradier line. Let's go. Oh, wow. They did cut this Usopp line. Great. Yes, this is exactly what I predicted. Oh my god. Like that part at least. It's better than I fucking thought. They even cut I cut this because there's no way because it was such a languid scene, but it's so funny. Negative. That's great. Oh my god, this is so good. Wow. Ooh, they did keep some of it. It was very quick. It's gonna be eye catch at this point, right after this. Okay, they had the eye catch at 10:55, which I think is about the same amount of time that I predicted. Because if you count the 2 minutes, no, the minute 40. All right. Yes, they did cut the shot I was thinking of. Like, they could probably cut this shot. That's great. Oh, what are they going to do here with the bubble part? Want to swim like you guys? Okay, they do keep this. They do keep the dialogue. They keep that's anime original, but that makes sense. That better lead in so good. Oh my god. They did cut a reaction from Usopp to that anime original. Ooh, the Nihi. Yes! Yeah, I'm validated. I win. They kept him smiling. I win. I win. Oh, how much? They're gonna do? Are they gonna do any? Yeah, they did keep. They did cut his. Yes, yes, they did cut the flashback of the emotional scene. But like that's fair with the tightness that this is. Doing two flashbacks in a row makes sense to cut one of them. That's not even in the manga. Oh, they did cut the extra scene of Sanji diving in. That was anime original. Let's see if they cut the part of them be like it's been rough here the last 2 years. Right after this shot. Yes, no, they did keep it. Okay. After a lot of things happened. Okay. Nice. Kitakura Nani. That last one's actually original for some reason. For some reason Oda didn't have a fourth one, but yes, okay. It is a little quicker. Yeah, and they did obviously cut all of them actually hiding, but then they are hiding. Oh, that was a really good way of doing that. That was a really good way of abbreviating that. Let me see if they cut. I don't know what I cut, but apparently I have a cut here after this. Oh, it was this little extra bit. I did cut that part because it was an anime original, I believe, but that made sense. Okay, let's see how they do this eruption part. Oh, they did keep the border patrol line. Yeah, are they gonna zoom in on the nose? There it is. Oh, yeah. Actually, they did keep a little bit of the other shot. They reanimated. I think they redrew it. The blood there. So that was definitely different. It looked a little more like ketchup. They did keep all their reactions, which is in the manga, I believe. Oh, they put the armor knights on top. That was great. That's a great idea. A lot of the audio is really interesting how they're overlaying it on top of other shots to tighten it. And they can do that because of the reorchestration. Oh. They did keep the I'm sorry, re-entered your country. Okay. Hama, 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 hama. I think they can abbreviate this a little well. Let's see how they do it. I think they may have cut a panel. Yes, they did a little bit. Him pointing. Fisher Tiger. Maybe, I wonder if they actually make it to the end of the chapter. I think they will, but, because they've surprised me before. I wonder if they do, though. Yep. Oh, here we go. Let's see how this looks. Whoa! That was new. There's a clip in there that's new, I think. Yeah, there is. There's a new clip. There's new animation in that fight. There totally is. Whoa. Yes, they did cut it to Sasuke. I knew it. I knew you could just fucking just clip to that. They could abbreviate this pretty well. Yep. Actually, they did abbreviate that a little bit, but at least he actually shows him reach for it. It was better. It was better abridging. Fami, yeah, that little bit is original, I believe, but they kept it, which is good. You don't have to be sorry. Funny thing on his face. Is he Syra after this? After he's like the thing? No, they do keep his line. They do keep Chopper's line. Oh, actually they'd actually cut him sighing, which is fair because it's not in the anime, not in the manga technically. Oh, okay. I think they keep. Yeah, they keep all the mermaids' lines. That's cute. That's good. Oh, they kept that too. Oh, wow! That was great! That was a great way to do it. That was better than all we were just talking about at the end of this, of like the differences. That was the best one. They did the same thing in the second episode of Fishman Island Log, where they inserted a clip of Roger with the straw hat in between a shot of, like, when Luffy says I'm going to be king of the pirates. They show a shot of after they show Rayleigh look at him. They flash an image of Roger and then he tears up. They did a similar thing here with. I'm sorry, I've already paused them. I can just. Okay. I really like what they did here. Hold on. Size. Some shots of Jinbei and then right to Luffy. And then back to him. We all missed our chance. Boom. That was so good. Wow. Very impressed. Very, very happy with that. Let me tease into the next episode preview. Just to get a taste of what we might get. Yeah, I just wanted to see where I'm at. Okay. Oh, you get Jamon. You get Brook and Nami. You get the fortune teller and the starfish for sure. Some more Hody. That's the beginning of the first chapter there. Ooh, a big explosions. And a bit more Hody. Okay. Awesome. I really want to look at the manga now and just see where that looks. So let's steer a little ahead here. Oops. Bum 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 bum. Do do. Okay. Do 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 boom 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 boom. Okay. Do. All right. So at the very least, we know Jamon shows up. So let's see where that is. That's already one chapter. I don't even remember this guy, Gyro? Crabhand Gyro? Interesting. Whoa. That's a nice 2-page spread of them. Do. Yeah, and there's King Neptune. And then he more Hody. A big explosion, maybe? That's him kind of wreaking havoc. Float them up to into the new world. Yeah, this like ambition part is in the next episode preview over here, and then it ends. Wow. Okay, so it's they're doing at least 2 chapters, but maybe there's more? I wonder what's inside. Yeah, it's more Caribou, but we didn't see Caribou in the next episode preview. That's okay. Oh, the big palace. I think it's just going to be another 2 chapters again. Wow. So that would be episode 7 and another 2 chapters. Very cool. Very interesting. Okay. That will do it for this the Hody intro stuff next time. Cool. Good to see you, Craft Dwarf. Yeah, hopefully that's done pretty well. I mean, as well as I think it'll do good. I don't know what. Again, I have very little experience with Fishman besides the initial first watch. So the more I read and go into it, the more I understand it. It'll be great. It'll be great. All right. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. Yo, peace.